years old. I've just been sponsored into business, and I'm conducting my first home meeting. My sponsor gave me all the details. We had this big binder back in those days, 3-ring binder. They had a big section about how you set up your meeting, how you call people, how you invite them. So that's what I do. I start inviting people to my first home meeting. And I had never heard about the business before. I'd never been in the business before. I'd never heard about the company I was in before. But as I started calling people, I started to understand that many of them had heard about my company and had heard about the business, and they weren't particularly interested in hearing about it again from me. But I persevered. I was so excited about the power of leverage. I had never seen this before. When I was introduced to our business, it was magic to me. When people say, well, how do you handle skeptical people? And what? That seems so strange to me, because when that guy, he had a yellow legal pad like this, right? And he had a red pen, and he drew a circle, and he wrote U. And then, of course, he drew 5 circles under the U, and then 25 and 125 and 3,000, 125, 15,000. I mean, I was hallucinating. I was like, hotel, motel, holiday inn. I had never seen anything like that, right? So this idea of leverage was so incredible for me, because I had always traded hours for money. I had never been able to apply leverage in my life. So I make these calls, and people are hanging up on me, people are ridiculing me, people are telling me I'm an idiot for doing this, but I persevere. I get finally, I don't remember if it was 17 people or 19 people that absolutely said, okay, I will be there, I will come to your home on Tuesday night, I'll be in your meeting. And by the way, you guys, I see people are starting to jump on, check in, give me a heart, a like, say hi, let me know where you're coming from, something. So I know I'm not here just talking to myself. Anyway, 17 people or 19 people tell me they're going to come. And 7 o'clock, 7:15, 7:20, 7:25, 7:29, 7:30, nobody is there. 7:35, 7:40, and you know how the story ends. All right, nobody showed up. So I had my first secret meeting. That was a seminal moment for me, because here's what I decided after scheduling that, having all those people who told me they're going to come, going through all the abuse I went through, all the ridicule, the rejection, the hang-ups, all of that stuff, and get those people who commit and say they're going to be there, and then nobody shows up. And you know what I decided? I decided I was the most ambitious person that I knew. And I took power from that. Because I was a guy, a lot of you know my story. I started as a minimum wage dishwasher, worked my way up, cook, bus boy, host, waiter, manager, trainee, whatever. So the people I hung out with were like me. There were a lot of cooks and bartenders and waiters, and we all smoked and we all drank a lot, and we all partied a lot. And so they weren't the type, oh yeah, sure, I'll be at the meeting. And then they never showed up. But the fact I took power in that and said, no, I'm the most ambitious person I know. So that was a transformational thing for me. So what's the lesson for you? Here's what I believe it is. I believe every challenge presents us a choice. So like in that case, my easy choice would say, drop out. Hey, I called everybody I knew, I talked to everyone I know, everybody said they were going to come, nobody showed up, the business doesn't work, I quit. Think how many millions of people have done that in our profession. And think how many millions of dollars I would have lost if I had done that. So every challenge gives us a choice, and then I think every challenge gives us an opportunity. Because every challenge, every mistake, every setback, every obstacle, this gives us a chance to recalibrate, learn from the stepping stones on what we need to get better at, what we need to learn, the character we need to develop, the better habits we need to develop. So that's powerful stuff, right? So that's the lesson I think for you, is that every challenge gives us a choice, and every challenge gives us an opportunity. And the thing I want you to understand about our profession is this. When you look at the most successful people in it, it's easy to think, oh, how come they didn't have to go through the rejection and the no-shows and all the drama and trauma and everything that I'm going through? They did. That's why they are the most successful people, because they were willing to go through that, and because of the choices that they made when they faced those challenges. So that's the story I want to tell you. That's the point I want to make you. And this was actually all just a trick. The real lesson is what I just demonstrated to you. Here's the real lesson I want to teach you about how to be more successful in the business. The real lesson of this is the power of story. I had a mentor when I started in the speaking business. His name was Bill Gove. He was in his 70s, I think, at that time. Bill had been the first president of the National Speakers Association. And he was in the Florida chapter that I was a member of, and we just connected. He fell in love with me, I fell in love with him. He was like the father that I never had. I don't know, I just bonded with him. And he always used to say, tell a story, make a point. Tell a story, make a point. And I think this is really powerful for people in our profession. Because for instance, if you go to a seminar, right, and there is 10 presenters, and you catch someone in the hall and say, hey, what was that last session like? They say, oh, it was amazing. Really? What did you learn? Oh, it was the 17 secrets of sponsoring. Really? Okay, what were they? They can't remember 2 of them, right? Because facts, figures, statistics, lists, all that, people don't remember that. So the point Bill always made was, if you tell a story and make a point, when they will remember the story, and because they remember the story, they remember the point. So that's the first part of the power of story. Here's the second part, and the most important part, is you have to make it the point about the audience, about the reader, about the listener, about the viewer, in your case, the prospect. So when we get on a conference call to present our opportunity, or you're speaking in an opportunity presentation on the stage, or you get the company asks you to do the opening keynote at your convention, remember, you're not asked to tell your story as a reward. We think they are. Oh, wow, I'm great. I became a Hawaiian purple, blue, diamond star commander, and now they asked me to do the opening keynote. That's my reward for being so amazing. No, we're giving you the stage because we want you to inspire the audience. We want you to train the audience. We want you to give them the lessons that you've learned. What my friend Naomi Rhodey calls the privilege of the platform. When we get a platform, that's a privilege, and with that privilege comes responsibility. So our responsibility is, we tell a story, we make a point, but the point has to be about the prospect, or it has to be about the team members. So that's why I started with this story. I wanted to demonstrate for you an actual example of how you would do this, right? So I told the story of my first no-show, my first secret meeting, right? So anybody who's been in our business for any length of time knows exactly what I'm talking about. They can empathize with me. They're feeling along with me. They're remembering their secret meeting. They're remembering sitting around or running out to the hotel lobby and looking for people, and running if there's a traffic jam, and texting all the people who said they were going to come, and where are they, right? They can relate to that. So I'm telling a story that they can relate to. And then, of course, I made the point of the story. I didn't just tell the story that, hey, I had a hard time, feel sorry for me. No, it's about the audience. So what's the lesson for them? So I actually demonstrated to you exactly how to apply this lesson as you're building your business.